Now it's time to blacken up Zoroark and N in the pitch black metagame. I'm going to be going over some of the changes that I went through with this deck. So I'll catch you guys very shortly. Hey, what is up, YouTube? This is Platinum Point, and I'm here to bring you guys yet again another deck profile. This is a Pokemon one this time. It's an update, as I said in the intro, to my N's Zoroark list post pitch black. So I decided to do an update on this list because there's been pitch black does introduce some new cards to consider when I was looking at the list, and one of the cards I actually managed to pull one of the cards I was considering pulling, putting into the deck, and that is the Mega Darkrai. So if you guys saw my my Instagram post, I put it link it in the description below. I managed to pull this sucker at the pre-release. It was my last pack, and I managed to get my hands on the SIR Mega Darkrai. Out of all the megas in Legends ZA, it was this one and this one, Mega Darkrai, Mega Garchomp Z, and Mega Lucario Z were my three favorite new megas. Even though I think I do agree with a lot of people that it does look like a black eye, a giant black eye with like a Cthulhu version of it. But what I liked about this one was it also kind of reminded me of Black Doom from the Sonic series, because it just looks like like the avatar for the Black Doom or the Black Arms. So when I pulled it, I was just like, whoop, and I sleeved it up right away, even double sleeved it. And this copy exists only in my binder right now. I did consider playing it in this deck because you can power up your, like, you could power up the Monkey Dory with Janine, and then let's say not Janine, you could power up your Pheasantipity or Pecharunt, put the necessary like 2 or 3 Darkness Energy, because I also wanted to play it alongside the Bell, the Dusk Bell, and then take advantage of its second attack, which is Abyssite, to knock out a Pokemon with special condition. That was my thoughts, but I decided after testing, and especially after pulling this, I decided I'm just gonna run the Bell from pitch black. So I'll show you guys the list. It's gone through some small changes since the last time you saw it, so I'll showcase to you guys the list. So we're still keeping the same lineup of 4 Zorua and then the 4 Zoroark. We're still playing the 2 Zekrom and the Darmanitan line. This is just pretty much a very, I haven't changed from this. I have thought about putting back the Reshiram though, just because there are situations where, especially against decks that run Mega Evolutions that can't knock me out, but deal enough damage for a powerful Rage to knock them out, I felt the temptation to do that. Also because against Dragapult, it threatens it easier. And then next we play 1 Fez. I finally got my hands on an SIR Meowth. So a the Meowth, as well as the Pecharunt. And then I also play 1 Badoo and 1 Yveltal. And then lastly 1 Monkey Dory. I forgot about that. So pretty much the Pokemon lineup is almost card for card the same. Actually, it is card for card the same. In terms of the Pokemon lineup, it hasn't changed that much. It's just some of the ratios for the supporters. So right now I'm only playing what is it, 10 supporters. So that's 4 Lily, 3 Boss's Orders, 2 Serrano, and then 1 Black Belt Training. Pretty much the same like last time. Except I have been considering in this list, let me pull it up, some of the cards that I was considering. So one of the supporters I wanted to add in was a Janine, because it's free energy acceleration. I was thinking about putting back another boss's orders. I think I was playing 4 in the previous list. I've been like pivoting, thinking about either taking it. I was back and forth, either playing 3-4, 3-4, and I'm still like mulling it over, because if I do play a 4th, I want to accompany it with another supporter, and also use either Janine's or Cypher Maniac's code breaking. I'm kind of leaning more towards Cypher Maniac because it allows you to get the transformation tomes back to your hand really easily, which is a nice kind of addition, being able to just do all that with ease. So that's been another like thought in my head, is like one of these 3 supporters. So I'm still debating on that. Okay, that's it for the supporters. Let me move. Sorry, just moving stuff aside. Okay, moving on now to the rest of the trainers. So we play 4 Buddy Buddy Poffin, 3 Pokepad, 2 Ultra Ball. So that's it for the consistency part. I decided to keep the Pokepad at 3 because just having a good early game to search out your pieces is important, and I have been encountering moments where when I cut this down to 2, I wish I didn't, and I feel like 4 is a little like, I would like to play 4, but because we're tight in space, and the fact that Transformation Tome kind of plays like it's basically your generic searcher, because you get to access your discard pile for up to 2 times. So it's fine, this ratio. And then speaking of Transformation Tome, we're playing 4 of that. It's really good. It's a really strong card, and I'm still playing it because it allows me now to be flexible with my bench, which is really nice. Next, we play 3 ends PP up, 2 Night Stretcher, and then the newest addition to the deck, 1 Dusk Bell. So what Dusk Bell does is both active non-darkness Pokemon become confused. So the reason why this card is so important in this list is it now gives us a chance to survive our worst matchups, like grass decks, because now you get to confuse your opponent's Pokemon, and they're forced to either retreat that attacker and bring it back to the active through if they play switch, or they just retreat out and to resolve the confusion, or they gamble and swing on under confusion and potentially miss the attack because it's confused. It hits itself, which I like. And with this deck, since we're playing, most of our attackers are dark, this is not gonna hurt us. And in the math, like not mathing, but in the matchups that I've seen, I've even seen many of the Zoroark and Zoroark lists in Japan play 1 copy of the Dusk Bell, and I've been testing it online, and it's just been really interesting. Like, it's a really good card because it allows us to protect ourselves, potentially protect ourselves, but it's also just a form of disruption, because it forces your opponent to either take the gamble, flip heads or tails, and if they guess correctly, they can swing. If not, the attack fails. And most players, if they're cautious, will just retreat, which buys you a turn, which is one of the reasons why I like this card. And one of the reasons why I was considering running the Darkrai, because if you load up 3 energy onto, let's say, your Pecharunt, off of like using Janine and energy attaches, you can dusk spell your opponent's active, transformation tome the Fez into Darkrai, and then use Abyss Eye to knock out the opponent's Pokemon since it was affected by since it was inflicted with a special condition. So you could have that was one play that I was thinking of, because now this allows me to answer Megas without having to worry about losing the, like, it helps me even out the trade, and in fact helps me get closer to winning in some games. But I realized it's not really practical to get the Darkrai out on board, and even then if I go up against grass, you're going to be able to crack back and knock this out, and I give my opponent 3 prizes. So I'd rather them just take 2 prizes instead of taking 3, and then I'll just use this as a defensive option to force a gamble on and get, like, force those worst matchups where I have another turn to try to knock out their Pokemon to even out the prize trade. And then lastly, for my not last for my trainers, I play 1 special red card and then 1 secret box, and then we play 2 Binding Mochi, 2 Ends Castle, and then I'm running 7 Dark Energy right now. So this list is almost card for card Tord. Not almost, but this was inspired by Tord Reklev, and I gotta give him credit for it again, because I really do like the idea of the transformation tomes, incorporating it into the deck, and then and then playing Secret Box instead of playing Scoop Up Cyclone, because transformation tome does the same thing essentially. Overall, I really like the subtle changes that I made with the deck, especially Duskbell. Duskbell is just a really nice card to play, and I've been testing it online on ladder, but I am kind of curious. I am going to be taking this to my locals in the probably this coming weekend's locals to see how the deck performed. But overall, I really like this list. It's a really fun list. I am going to be experimenting with some of the pitch black cards. Besides, you saw my my hide and sneak list. I am going to do an update on that because I got some nice stuff for that list. Not only did I get some nice upgrades for the list, but I also have been thinking about some other strategies with the deck. So I will be updating that deck and then sharing it with you guys very shortly. So I hope you guys like this video. We're going to be doing more Pokemon videos later this week. I'm filming some more. One of them is going to be a discussion on the Worlds season, because I am going to give my thoughts since we're getting near the World Championship, and I want to give my predictions on what I think is what's going to happen. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, crack the like button, and I'll catch you guys later. So peace out, guys, and don't forget to stay on point.